Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I'm joined tonight with my sturdy and wonderful sidekick,
Me.
me, D. Taylor-Jolley. What's up from Baltimore? Senior Terrence. Terrence Senior is with us.
Welcome.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are glad you're here. Let me do this real quick.
I put mine away. You didn't tell me you were going to do that. I put mine away.
Why you put it away?
I didn't know you were going to do that.
I put it over there for a reason. Here we go. I just want y'all to see what's going on here.
Now, I'm not 100.
Well, that's questionable. So we are wearing our 100-year-old glasses because we went to a 100th birthday party yesterday. We want to shout out Mrs. Evelyn Green White, who celebrated her 100th birthday. Actually, the birthday, I think, is tomorrow. No, it was the 9th. What was yesterday? No. Well, anyway,
yesterday was the 10th.
She just celebrated. She's celebrating her 100th birthday, and she still drives. She still drives.
And she had on heels.
Had on heels, walking, talking, clear as a bell, and sharing with us lessons about life over the last 100 years. Just fabulous. So we want to celebrate Mrs. Evelyn Green White.
And she's a retired school teacher.
Retired school teacher.
And she's one of the few still alive who didn't teach you.
and she also, one more thing, she talked about how she had to overcome the limitations of racism to be able to live the kind of life that she wanted for her children. Son went on to Harvard and became a lawyer at Harvard Law School. So,
who's one of our son's mentors.
Yeah, so celebrate her and her birthday, and she's a role model to show it's possible for everybody. And she talked about exercise, diet, taking care of yourself.
And she walks around the block with her cane. With her walking sticks.
Not canes, walking sticks. And she gets out and walks, she drives to the gym and does her workout. So look, again, we celebrate that. Okay, we can get on with the show now. Well, want to welcome everybody. We've had a great week. Had a great weekend. I spoke today, by the way. Shout out to everybody from Keller Williams. Everybody from Keller Williams, where I spoke today. And many people said they were going to join in. All right. We had such a conversation last week that we've decided to do part 2 about is your money personality killing your sex life?
So that'll get your attention. Now, what does that mean? Okay,
boy, that gets it. First of all, you got to know that everybody has money personalities, and you got to learn your money personality. What kind of money personality you have?
And so we came up with the abbreviation for SIG. You can remember that.
I can remember.
One of the different kinds of personalities.
SSIIG.
Excellent.
Did I do good?
You're gonna get a star, and you're gonna get rewarded. So everybody has the money personality, and we want you to focus on getting clear as to exactly what it is. There is no right or wrong; it just is.
It just is.
Right. And so, how do you deal with?
Well, there is a right or wrong. Well, yeah. You got to change. If your money personality is one of the S's, and one of the G's.
Knowing your money personality allows you to make adjustments. Then maybe I should have said it that way. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Because sometimes their personalities are often a result of the experiences that they've had growing up, the culture, the environment, and the like. So I'm not going to say
I don't know if that.
Bad.
Well, I don't think money personalities are like an extrovert, introvert, or a type A personality.
No, it's a learned thing.
It's more learned
based upon much on your environment. But there are adjustments that you can make, and there are changes that you can make in it once you identify what it is and you decide that you want to change it.
Okay.
All right. So just quickly. All right. So why even talk about money personalities? your personality or how you react and respond to money really affects how you spend your money now.
Right.
And how you interact.
Right. Right.
With people in different situations. Because money is involved. Can you think of anything that money is not involved with? Even your health.
You need
because
money.
the quality of the health care that you get is dependent upon the money that you have or lack thereof. Am I not right?
Correct.
Okay. So the kinds of money personalities, quickly, you got the saver.
Saver.
Which is as opposed to one the regular spender.
And I tend to fall into saver.
And it can be quickly also be considered cheap, but you enjoy saving your money.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that. I am good with being
and you always try to squeeze $1 out of a penny. Can you squeeze $1 out of a penny? But that's what you try to do. And a great example of that is that my car is an ML 350 that is 20 years old. I cannot get a catalytic converter.
It's not 20 years old.
What is it?
It's not. Okay.
It was 05. It was 05.
Yeah, it's just running
17.
great. But
anyway, I cannot get a catalytic converter for my car. And I called the Mercedes place and they said they would search because the repair shop could not find a catalytic converter and I cannot get my car for inspection.
Right.
So the guy calls back after the weekend. He says, we no longer make a catalytic converter for your ML 350. I said, thank you. My husband says, oh, you should have him send you the statement so you can go back through inspection and say, oh,
look at the evidence.
I can't get my car fixed because they don't make the part anymore. So I'm like, they don't care.
But I say try it anyway.
And we can't get it fixed.
And you're cute.
So I'm like, that's because he's
cheap. Say you're cute.
He's trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. They don't care.
Well, you don't know.
That they don't make the catalytic. I've already gone through inspection 2 or 3 times and been rejected.
And I said, try it one more time.
He says, go back to inspection.
The reason why
I'm not getting it fixed.
Listen, folks, the reason why she's sitting here is because I refuse to give up. I keep asking. I keep asking. I keep trying. I'm persistent to a fault. I will keep trying. And I said, keep trying.
The point was, he is so cheap.
Yes.
I said, no catalytic converter. We're just going to ride it until it just
falls apart. I'm going to buy you
He was like, let me at least get the paper and you go try again and get rejected again. Until my rejection date.
Well, let's talk about the car when the last Mercedes caught on fire while we was at church. Okay. We was at church. People came and said, your car on fire. I don't know what happened, but it was a fairly new car. But did I fight for it? I fought for it and got her a almost brand new car.
We got a replacement, didn't have to spend any money. So there are advantages
because I am
being
persistent and cheap, and I'm going in and I keep fighting. And the reason you're sitting here now is because you told me no, 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 no.
What about calling somebody out of town in a different location? I guess to get a catalytic converter.
Well, maybe, but we'll keep trying.
I don't know anybody. You know somebody? Give me a holler. I'm not out to. So anyway, he's a saver and he is super cheap. And sometimes it just drives me over the edge. But it is advantageous.
It's good to see you, Terrence E. from Gray Senior.
The next one is the spender. And they place the high value on things. Like you said, your friend, there's no price on fun.
No price on fun. The guy said to me when we were
and they're comfortable.
There's no price on fun.
And they enjoy it. It's not that's not the gambler, but they enjoy spending and buying things for other people.
And their mindset is, why save? You might die tomorrow. Spend it up. Spend it up to the hilt.
Next one is the investor. And the investor is someone who's really future focused. I keep reading more and more. They're future focused. So they're planning out for next year, 5 years, 20 years down the road. So they can invest because they're hopeful about what is going to happen.
Right.
So therefore they can buy with the anticipation of things getting better ongoing. So these are the people who tend to have the more stocks, bonds, who've thought out, okay, my 401k, I'm funding this. They enjoy the accumulation of wealth.
Right. And then there's the indifferent.
And the indifferent. They rarely think about money. That's what I used to be. They rarely think about money because that was not a topic in our household.
Okay.
And all of my needs were met. I'll just say that. They were. And as a child growing up, and I didn't realize it was a whole different world that people actually had to budget. They actually had to know how much money they had before they could spend. I didn't get that until I went to college. So that's an indifferent.
So
and sometimes an indifferent can be a person who is in a relationship or with somebody who's extremely wealthy, and they just get stuff, and they don't ever have to be concerned about it.
So when you went from being indifferent to leaving your parents' home, what did you become then? You were what? You weren't
confused?
That was good. That's good. That's good. Okay, all right. I don't know what you were. Let's see. I don't think you were a saver.
I was floundering. I didn't know.
You were probably more of a spender. Did go on shopping trips? You did tell me you used to go.
Well,
shopping.
I mean, I did have a part-time job in college.
And you spent money on clothes.
And I spent money on clothes.
Yeah, so you were more of a spender than after.
But I would say I wasn't really a saver because I wasn't watching how much money I was putting in a savings account.
Right.
Okay. And I didn't gamble. I mean, I'm a preacher's kid. That was sin. So I'm not going to gamble. Right. I had not even discovered the word invest what. I didn't know what that was. Stocks and bonds. So yeah, I guess I was more of a spender.
Okay.
I got it and I bought clothes.
All right. So
okay.
All right.
Great. And then so we've got the saver, spender, the investor, the indifferent, and then the gambler. And the gambler is really the one who has who has
that's a personality.
A compulsive problem.
They tend to be risk takers. They tend to be risk takers, and sometimes they win. Okay,
thrill seekers.
Yeah, Richard Branson is a gambler. Okay, don't think he's a gambler. He's a risk taker. I just saw the other day he started.
But see, I associate gamblers with not being wealthy.
No,
Branson is wealthy.
He's a billionaire, but he's a gambler. You know, somebody call it a riverboat gambler. He's a gambler.
I would say, if you're going to say he's a gambler, I would say that he's a calculated one.
Yeah, well, he's a calculated
how
gambler.
Did he get to be a millionaire? Not just by willy-nilly and gambling at the gambling table.
His personality is a risk taker. That's why he does the activities, the sports activities that are risky. You know, risky mountain climbers, gamblers. They get something out of the risk. Now most can't make money out of it. He finds a way. He's a creative thinker. Now he never went to business school. When you learn his story, he risked.
All right, give me his 30-second story.
Well, he when he was trying, he had a record company. I mean, a record store. And he wanted to go to America, but they couldn't find a plane to take him. So he got everybody to put up their money that would have been a plane ticket and chartered a flight. And that's how he got to America. And then he risked on buying an airline. He started an airline. He said, I just decided, I saw how I could make money doing that with the chartered. So he kept doing charter flights, more and more charter flights. He had no backing, no money. He just kept trying all of these. He's a risk taker.
Oh, wow.
But he's a creative risk taker. And he obviously takes risks that are calculated. Not just gambling.
He falls in the category of being a gambler. That's a whole new perspective. I thought about it.
All right, so that gamblers are not all bad, but you better have some skills in being creative thinking when things don't go the way.
So then my mind,
because gambling, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
So then my mind,
he has lost.
Goes to how did he manage the debt?
He cutting deals. He was taking risks.
He is a good risk taker because I would not. I couldn't even get my head around how to do anything.
Right.
Like that.
So look, we're not. I don't want you to put in a mindset that gamblers are all bad.
Okay.
I would recommend you you have some other skill sets beyond being a gambler, so that when things go bad, because gambling by its nature is sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Can you cover your costs? Can you cover the losses? Can you cover the losses?
That's
Okay.
good. Can
All
you
right.
cover the losses? So now that we know the money personalities, what's your money personality?
Which one is yours? Which
You
one
have
is
to think
yours?
about that. And
Which
it
one
might
is
be a
yours, folks?
combination
Which
of
one
the
is
two.
yours?
What
What is your money
emotionally
personality?
is your money personality? Because that affects your relationship.
Now, let's talk about the relationship. Let's say he has a gambling personality and his mate needs security. Ooh, they're going to clash.
So then you need to have a conversation.
That's going to be a clash. There got to be a conversation.
So you need to have a conversation so you can give me enough of what I need, and I can give you enough room so that you can roam around and do some gambling.
Right.
Huh?
That's right.
You think?
Maybe,
That's called communication.
Maybe
Sex,
having
money, and communication.
Maybe having the
How about
house
that?
paid for and having X amount of money in the account.
But that
you don't-
requires a conversation and a commitment
Yes.
to each other to take care of each other's needs.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay, so then that takes us into, so now that we know what's your money personality and what's your mate's money personality, you need to think about that, because we're going to talk about that in a little while. Some recent studies as to why this is so important. Now, everybody knows Dave Ramsey, right? Or most people know Dave Ramsey, who are in the talk about money, and he doesn't believe in debt and all of this. Right.
All debt is bad.
All debt is bad.
Right.
Those I get, the more I think that he's right. Okay. So in 2017, he's Ramsey Solutions, because he has a podcast. He's on cable every day. All these studies. They did a study of 1,000 adults to gain some insights into personal financial behaviors and attitudes of adults and married couples, and how they communicate and how they relate to money. Here's a quick summary. Money is the number one issue that married couples talk about.
Argue about. And you remember we had a gentleman on a few weeks ago who was in the class for abusers. Remember?
Yes.
And he said the number one argument creator was finances.
Mm-hmm. Now, the number one reason for divorce is infidelity, and right behind that is the money. It's got to be all mixed up there together. So money is the number one issue married couples argue about. Now, 86% of the couples who got married in the last 5 years, this study was done in 2017, they were in debt. They were in debt when they got married. Wow. And the average amount of their debt was over $30,000. That's a wow. When we got married, we didn't have anything. You had money saved. I didn't have anything.
But we didn't have any debt. Did you have debt?
No, because I filed bankruptcy because I owed $600 to American Express. I have to tell the world that. It's just so ridiculous. You know, every time I think about that, and my son has an American Express card.
I met her, because I would have let her do that.
When you don't have a money education, you don't understand, you really have anything about finances, because you can have a great paying job. What's a great paying job 40 years ago was what? $30,000, $40,000. And I was teaching school. I had this great job, right? And I owed $600 to American Express. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot pay. I don't know how that happened. I filed bankruptcy.
You know, that was before she met me.
I know that, dear.
And she needed me. I know she needed me in her life. That's why we're together now, because we got it together after that. We got it together.
Okay.
All right.
The higher a couple's debt burden, the more likely they are to argue. And why is that? Because you have feelings of insecurity. Now, the woman tends to be feeling more insecure than the man, the higher the debt. And I can just say, for us, you're more of a risk taker than I am. I'm like, I just want everything paid for. I want I'll get in this boat with you. But I'm a nervous wreck. I might be in this boat,
nervous wreck.
But I hang with him.
And I say, we're gonna make it. Don't worry about it. We got it, baby. We're gonna make it happen over the years.
And lastly, quick, don't get off target.
Don't get off target.
Couples in healthy marriages are more likely to talk about their money dreams and goals and things that they want to do long term.
Well, that's when one team with one dream. Okay, write that one down, folks.
I like that.
One team, one dream. We working on our dream together, and we team up on our problems and go out and make it happen together. We're forced to be reckoned, but we work together, and that's what we want to encourage couples to do. Work together, talk together, get one team, one dream. Let's go get it.
All right.
And Terrence talked about a budget. That's right. When Terrence, how powerful and important it is, the budget, and stick to the budget.
But you can't get to that until you get to the emotional issues of how you think about money and understanding how your thoughts on money is different than your spouse. That
Well, you
has
know,
to
part
be
of that too.
fundamental.
Now, part of that you already said it. Is environmental or how you were taught about money. How did your family talk about money? What were their thoughts with money? Did they have a money scarcity mindset? See, sometimes this is due to a money scarcity, and they say, "Well, we don't have enough money. We gotta, but you know, we always money." And
but we want to talk about that. We're going to get to that. Okay.
All right.
Now, 70 in this survey, 77%
A new survey.
of women,
This is from Money Magazine.
77% of women, which is what I mentioned last week, and this is very important, think of money before they think of sex. That is very important.
That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men, on the other hand, think of sex before they think of money.
Yeah.
So we have a problem right there in terms of communicating.
We gotta think of the sex first.
I think about the money.
And I think about the sex.
And he thinks about the sex first. But we figured out how to work this together. But that is profound.
Yes.
So when you give me security, or at least the feeling of security, that you're going to take care of everything. Yeah. You're going to make it work. I don't know how we're going to do this. This being on this tightrope. In the movie, The Greatest Showman in the World, my favorite song talks about being on the tightrope with you, which is what my life is like. Hold my hand and you take me to this tightrope. And my heart is pounding and I'm out there with you on this tightrope.
And we just straddling the tightrope because I'm good at it.
He's good at it, and I believe in him. And so since I believe in him, I am forced to take that journey.
Right,
okay?
Right.
But he knows I am not as much of a risk taker as he is. And so I'm always focused on the money first.
Yes.
I am always focused on the money first. Because that provides me with that sense of security.
But then again,
how much do we say? How much?
Man, remember when women said, "Our friend Monica Morgan, we love Monica." Hi. Hey, from Detroit.
Yes.
Now, look, folks. Well, I spoke to Keller Williams today. I told them about the fact, and we said over and over again in the book. And so remember, women need two things. Intimacy and security. Don't ever forget it. Intimacy, security. You got to know you got them. Okay, you got them. Men need two things, women. They need sex and respect. And when you get that clear, you understand what the workings are, okay? That women need that, and you got to be sensitive to that. So I'm always mindful of the fact that I'm a risk taker, but her security needs to be met. So I love you, Monica.
Hi, Monica. Look, what did Terrence
say?
Terrence
said the United States of American government is in $1 trillion of debt the last time the budget was balanced. Yet
people get emotional about home debt, not me. Just pay the mortgage first.
Pay the mortgage. Pay the mortgage.
Because debt and the money impacts you emotionally, and it can completely stress you out and make you a wreck. Being honest about that is important.
Yeah.
So women think about money before sex. Men think about sex before money.
Yes.
Okay.
Brothers think about the sex.
So what are we going to do about it? Let me just say. Of course, I dug a little deeper into the hole in relationship to money. Why do you think about women worry about money more? Number one, women live longer than the men.
Typically, women outlive their husbands.
So how much money, if you live longer than the surviving spouse, how much money did you leave? And if the woman is the one that's left, she normally lives, 20, 30 years longer.
Yes.
So we had to be concerned about running out of money.
Yes.
On top of that, women earn a third less than men for doing similar jobs.
Wow.
This is what's going on now out here. That's the ongoing conversation of how do we get equality. So that is major, right? And then when you live longer, the chances of your having health issues become greater. Just happens as you get older because stuff just stops working like it used to. Then you have to have money to take care of those added health issues. What are you going to do?
But you got to be thinking of that, okay?
And the fastest growing age group are those 85 and older. And you know what? Of the 85 and older, the majority are women. Remember, there was this program that talked about in the nursing homes how the few men had to pick of all of these old women, and one had the venereal disease, and he just spread it around all the ladies. He was like the
he got Viagra. He went nuts. That was just terrible.
Somebody had venereal.
Terrible. But that's because he was the only rooster. Okay, so but what we want you to do, we only got a few more minutes.
Now, the solution.
That's what we want to get to.
One thing.
Yeah,
a courageous conversation that is called money date.
Money date. We want you to have at least a weekly if you can, but at least a monthly.
Now, there's research also shows, I read all this stuff, and it shows that if you are talking about money with your spouse less than 2 hours a month, like how they calculate less than 2 hours a month, y'all are really not talking about the financial picture of your household and where you're going.
Right. So we want you to have a money date where you sit down with the bill.
So an hour a week. Well, it doesn't have to start that way. What we're going to do, we're going to say, you're going to have a courageous conversation, which is simply a money date. 30 minutes, 1 day a week. And what are you going to talk about? Initially, you're going to talk about your money personality. Just start talking. How did I learn about money? What my money personality?
Where did your parents talk about money?
So you're going to
talk about money?
The household and just how you learn about it. Non-threatening, but just that conversation, okay?
Yeah.
And has your money personality changed from what you learned when you were young, growing up, and then you went away to college like I did and discovered, oh my God, I don't know anything about money, and I had to learn some different things, right? So you're going to describe what your money personality is, and based upon how you got it, right? And how you might have changed over the course of the years.
Remember this too: wealth is learned. Wealth creation is learned.
And then you're going to discuss one money goal that you can work on together. It doesn't have to be final. You're going to work on one money goal that you guys can do together. Is it to buy a boat together? I mean, I'm not.
We're not boat people. So.
We're not boat people. Okay.
First of all, I could do both for about 3-4 hours before my ADD kicks in. I'm trying to find how I get off. But I got to go run. I got to go do something. I'd like to go out on a boat date, but that's about it.
So, courageous conversation.
Yay.
And it's going to be a money date.
Yay.
Just 30 minutes, 1 day a week, somewhere, sometime, over coffee, over a walk where you hold hands and just talk about, how did I learn about money? How did you learn about money? Oh, what'd your mama teach you? What'd your dad, your aunt, your uncle? Who was
it's having those conversations.
Was the local numbers running? Who was it?
Mm-hmm.
How did you learn about it? Okay. And has your views changed over the years? And then decide on one money goal. Maybe you two will save for an indoor vacation during COVID in November.
You might save for paying off, trying to get something that makes the wife more comfortable, like being debt free. We got debt free, we don't have any personal debt except for a house. And now I'm trying to get
goal
that.
is knock that out completely.
Right. Get it off because she's more comfortable with that. And so with that in mind, I'm working double time. I'm going everywhere. I'm speaking. Y'all want me to speak for you? I'll speak for you because I got to pay off all of the things that make her happy.
It comes with money, though.
They got to come from money.
Okay.
Bring the money.
October. Okay, so we're clear now. A courageous conversation. We want to have a money date, and we're just going to talk about how we learned about money and come up with one goal that the two of you can share in terms of money. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Please, please, please. This is so very important. 18% of increase in violence as a result of being cooped up, as a result of COVID, people taking out their stresses on each other.
800-799-7233. 800-799-SAFE. SAFE.
Okay.
800-799-SAFE.
Okay. And then I got my October bite, and the book for this month is Michelle Singletary's What to Do with Your money when crises hits. And here are the 5 quick things to manage your money like you're in a crisis, because there's always one coming. You either one, another one's coming. Debt is your enemy. period. Make a plan, not a promise, to get out of debt. Your net worth is the true measure of your wealth, your net worth, which means what you got versus minus what you owe is how much you really are worth. And when you've lost your job, you're going to triage your bills. And what does that mean? Food, gas, childcare first, rent, utilities next, and then credit cards last.
All right, our time is up, folks. She's done. I gave it to her. She is something else. Money Day, want to thank everybody. Monica, we love you. Terrence, you're awesome. Dawood, so glad
want to hear
you're
about
here.
that Money Day next week.
Glad so many of y'all joined us. Olympia, have fun at the beach. So many good friends over here on LinkedIn, Facebook, all joining in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Teresa McNeil, thank you for joining us. So many people joined. We got new comments just coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brenda Lawson. I hope everybody and everybody on Instagram.
Send in any questions. info@williejolly.com. Topics, other things you want to focus on. I have made a commitment that I have to focus on the money. What am I excited about? What do I want to improve on? The money.
The money.
And
I'm thinking about the sex. See y'all. Hey, we going out with our audio.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. And why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Oh, 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 on the day that you were born, the angels got together, decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle moon dust in your hair, and I see heaven when I look at you. That is why all the guys in town follow you all around. Just like me,